Hello everyone, my name is Akanksha Gaur, and today I'll be presenting the first task of this unit, which is video presentation. So let's get started. So, what is the meaning of the place, in my opinion? I went for a walk at a park nearby to my house. I find this place really amusing for the immense serenity it brings to my heart. As the sun rays fall on my skin, it just enlightens my inner self. This park reminds me of the time when I first came to Australia back in 2020. And it was a complete state of lockdown, and I used to go for long walks because there was not much to do at that time. For me, this place is linked to engaging with the place. Now, engagement with the place does not only refers to reminiscing the beautiful picturesque views, but it indeed refers to delving into the deeper layers of your surroundings. You delve into the nature, the creativity, which brings colors to the leaves, which brings colors to the sky. You determine the direction of the wind and the different seasons that we encounter every year. We don't learn about them superficially. We have to do a deep dive to learn about the nature and the place that surrounds us. So during my walk, I could actually recall the child developmental theories that I learned in the previous unit. One of the theories that actually came to my mind was the critical theory, where actually Kildare suggested the educators to question the norms as to why are we doing this or what am I curious about. And I think when I was walking, I could actually observe so many different things in the nature that I was actually asking all those questions to myself. And I think in a similar way, a child's mentality works also because the child engagement with space allows them a platform to critique their own thoughts and build up their knowledge. The critiquing here does not refer to criticizing or to demean the early childhood practices, but it is to scaffold the learning framework and form a more egalitarian society, as Nolan mentioned in the developmental theories. Moving further, I would like to talk about the child pedagogy, which is linked to the Aboriginal culture. And I would like to highlight one of the concepts, which is learning to be affected. Aboriginal culture is rooted and deeply rooted within our history. And Australian history, Australian land, and the Indigenous culture are the underpinnings of educating the child of the complexities and unpleasant aspects of the colonial time. Piscini Ketchbow said about engaging the child with the complexity will help them discover the history with an unprejudiced opinion about the significance of Aboriginal land, understanding their perspective and connection. This will enable the children to not view the land as a chunk of mud and clay, but to form relationship with a culture that has long served the Australian land. And I think these areas of discomfort and communications which involves little intricacies will lead to a path of innovation and reverence towards our elders, which the children will learn as they grow. I discovered the Pink's theory of multisensory organs that we use to form more than human connections with the land. Contact zones and entanglements become the basis of Latour's concept of learning to be affected. When I was going through the park, I could see some sticks and I noticed that how we would just randomly walk into the sand and make some sand castles or draw some shapes out of the sand. That's how the learning begins. And through these complexities, we tend to learn about the land and the space in depth. In my opinion, the child's agency of play is self directed play, where the child can make their own decisions because this is the time when we form neural connections. And even as educators, we can facilitate those decisions by altering the environment or giving them a different space or giving them different objects to guide them through the tasks. So this brings me towards the end of my presentation where I have learned about the maths and science relationship, the ecological relationship, the theory of place and thought, learning to be affected and engaging in child's agency through play and decision making. And this has helped me to develop my student mentor relationship in future and build a repertoire with children and parents as a part of EYLF.